People are using this song to do things. I thought it was only 1K. Thank God, they say quite a 1K. The videos I'm getting are very nice, and they are not like not like the old ones. The ones that they do there, I couldn't handle them. Mr. Logic, graduate, catch up. I know the get a so.
Andy.
Oh no, I got Tracy, and I said, Trey or Miss Nandekase, which of them Nandekase? Tracy.
Tracy.
Oh, Madam Musa, radio.
Tracy.
No,
oh, in fact, the person is even listening to us right now.
And to tell or two voice, but the money fans, what a money shout out. Your friend is saying,
Body prince.
Oh, I want it. Oh, what did you say? Oh,
Andy.
Masayano.
Andy, we are Babs, Guru Babs.
Well, Bema. And a Guru Barbara. Mr. Elijah, good morning.
Good morning. I'm fine. Just give me 10 seconds. Let me big up some people who are listening to me.
Right.
It's very important. Big up Odiamono.
Odiamono is my guy.
Odiamono is listening.
Oh, Wood. Odiamono.
Odiamono, big up.
Oh, no, Odiamono.
Bibia.
Sike Odiamono.
Fresh.
Just a Bibia or say fresh. Odiamono. He's my guy.
I know. Andy, let me also big up Lomogan. I mean, the jam you played this morning. Quick one. We're about to release Lomogan Gold EP featuring Sean Kingston.
Hey. Wow.
Sean, who's a Ghana? So people will say we want evidence. So we will put out the video.
They shot the video already.
No, they've not shot the video. A short video
of the song
of the whole vibe. So featuring Sean Kingston, featuring Stoneboy, featuring Sister Fia, Edem, and Strongman. That's why we call it Gold EP, because of the content, the loaded content on it. So that's to the people who have not heard of the Morgan for some time now. Let me also big up Capone. All my artists are Red Panther Music. Big up Capone. He's the new sensation, and the vibe is hard. Andy, right now, Capone is the new authority, the new command. If Capone coughs safe, somebody will respond.
Cool.
You look fly this morning. I mean,
than't you.
But Nima boy can't fly.
No. All right, so listeners, let's begin with the show. Let's say a big thank you to Vodafone. Vodafone says, you know what? Click *700#. I'm gonna be at no goose home. Fly, but they are freezing, so turn it down a little. Yeah. So, Vodafone, and don't forget that the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards is this weekend.
Yeah.
VGMAs.
This awards weekend.
Me, I know my winners already. I can predict here and it will happen. I'm telling you, I know my winners already. I've seen it in a vision.
Yeah.
Best rapper. MDK is the
defending champion.
Yes. And I know that
he's a reigning champion.
I know MDK is ready to wholeheartedly give it to Eno. I know he's ready. MDK is MDK Tinyamase. MDK
no, make our chop small, make our enjoy small. Okay.
So he's ready to give it to Eno. And a Stoneboy too on the dancehall side. Stone 2 is also ready to give it to AK Sunstress. No challenger. I know the boy. This year, dancehall song and dancehall artist of the year. See, the VGMAs must honor the ladies. AK Sunstress should take the dancehall song, because all the songs in the category, Andy, you can see a lining up songs now. The only song that has all the structures of a dancehall, that is the song. I guess I mean disrespect you.
No, but it's reggae. I mean, when it comes to reggae, it's reggae dancehall.
No, reggae dancehall, but dancehall is the dominant genre.
But now there's even Afro dancehall.
That is the same. It's the same as dancehall. Afro dancehall is African dancehall.
Yes.
It's
so
African dancehall.
Yes, because now we can element, There's the hardcore dancehall thing.
Dancehall has always been hardcore. But what I'm saying is that within the songs in the category, the only song that you can say that this is a dancehall reggae song is that song of AK Sunshine, Stamina. Yeah, most of the rest are Afrobeat and reggae.
Exactly what
I'm
trying to
reggae, then it means
exactly what I'm trying to support you with.
If you say reggae,
no, I said Afro.
There will be an argument because the dancehall element has to be there.
I agree. That's why I said in supporting your issue.
Yes.
That's why I said most of the other songs may be Afro dancehall, which is like a diluted dancehall.
Diluted. So
Exactly.
thank you. I like Charlie. I think I like your argument. I like it.
Because with what you are saying there.
I like it. So the VGMA should do the right thing. Charlie, the women.
So best reggae song of the year.
Best reggae dancehall song of the year. AK Songstress. Hands down.
Raskuku is in there. Episode is in there. Jupiter, Article 1, AK Songstress, and JD Robbie.
Let's line up.
Reggae song of the year.
That's all reggae song of the year.
JD Robbie, they hit in the year under
In my life.
Yeah, that was the year.
What year was it?
Last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
Charlie, not be small like that.
Oh, no,
yeah, it wasn't a small song.
So this August, the spotlight is back on our culture, our music, our artists. 30 awards presented at 2 exclusive events on Friday 28th and Saturday 29th August at 8 p.m. each night. Featuring a galaxy of stars, EL, Kiddy, Adina, Kwame Eugene, Kofi Kinata, Medical, Kwesi Arthur, Akwabwa, King Promise, Eno Berani, Strongman, Celestine Donko, Raskuku, Efia, Kofi Mole, and many more. Don't miss the VGMAs live on TV3, Sound City TV, The Base TV, Rock Ghana on DSTV, and streamed on MTV Base and on Ghana Music Awards pages. The Vodafone Ghana Music Awards produced by Charterhouse with support from TV3, DSTV, KPMG, Sound City, The Base TV, media partners, and brought to you by VF Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready? Well, this show is also brought to you by Troy Steel Roofing Company Limited. Troy Steel Roofing Company Limited, when it comes to roofing your building, they are number one. Troy Steel Roofing Company Limited factory and main office is at opposite Mile 11 Cemetery off Accra Kaswa Road. Please call them on 0302 850 802 or 0303 967 400. Troy Steel Roofing, your number one choice. Please let's not forget Betway. Betway says visit www.betway.com.gh to place your bet now, because you stand to win a cash amount, cash of 30,000 Ghana cedis. Betway, for the love of the game. No under 18. Bet the responsible way. Please, let's also not forget Franco Trading Enterprise. Well, Franco Trading says once you buy from their website, they deliver right at your doorstep. Any product, especially mobile phones, televisions, home appliances, please call them on 0246 422 338 or 0546 133 188. So, let's get to our first story. There are a lot of journalists in this world or in this profession. In journalism, we have different journalists. We have photojournalists. Photography. We have the filmmakers. We have, all of them in general. We're discussing showbiz journalists. Who at all is a showbiz journalist? So, it's now we see too many people all writing as showbiz journalists. But are they really showbiz journalists? Well, in your opinion, Mr. Loje,
Yes.
who's a showbiz journalist?
Well, I think, in my opinion, a showbiz journalist is a person who writes about total entertainment content. In terms of, whether it be in interviews, journals, and all the activities that happens within the industry of entertainment. That's what I think a showbiz journalist is. And also, we've got different kind of journalism in the showbiz industry. We have those who write stories only. What we can also call, let's say, the bloggers. The bloggers, they write all areas. We've got specific bloggers for entertainment. I don't know how to really categorize our bloggers in our entertainment because they write everything.
Right. Please hold on for me.
Yeah.
Let's speak with Amiao Kisi Debra, known professionally as Amiao Debra. He's a Ghanaian celebrity blogger, freelance journalist, and reporter. He founded AmiaoDebra.com, an entertainment website and blog that primarily publishes news about Ghanaian celebrities. Amiao Debra, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
Good morning, boss. I'm doing well, and you?
Very well, thank you. So, are you back in town?
Yes, I've been around for Corona.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, when we mention showbiz journalists, how will you define a showbiz journalist?
For me, I would say it's entertainment journalism. It focuses on like popular culture and the business of entertainment and products around entertainment. So at large, people would include some sort of fashion journalism and lifestyle, television, film, theater, music, and even now more. It's not so popular here in Ghana, but elsewhere there's also video game culture, and they're all seen as media, and it's all part of this sort of a form of journalism. If I should narrow it and make it more like showbiz journalism, then it would be more coverage for the discipline that people see as show business, i.e., music, performances, and also maybe film, because I think these two are what people generally term as showbiz. So I would say journalism that focuses on that. Yeah.
I see, but how do you differentiate it? Now we see almost every blogger or people calling themselves, showbiz journalists. Almost every blogger in Ghana is publishing something to derive traffic or drive traffic. So how do you determine who a showbiz journalist is?
Like you said, it's become very difficult to sort of draw the line between that. But like I said, in the real sense of it, these would have been people who sort of specialize. So, for instance, if you are doing film, you know that you are talking about film, and then you have the understanding of film to do reviews, to do opinions, to do different things. But as it is now, we in Ghana, because there isn't so much in the individual disciplines that will make you want to just focus on that. So we tend to do a lot of everything. And even those that technically people call bloggers, sometimes are not even bloggers. They're just posting news, no form of self-expression, no form of voice and identity. But because now everything that is online, people want to term it as blogging, and so they have put everything together. I think there are websites that do entertainment news, and they are just that. They are entertainment news websites. They are not blogs. But we tend to put them all together. But still, in terms of the concept of blogging, still has some elements of self in it, some elements of voice, a person whose voice is clear on a subject or something like that. But most of the websites that we see are basically most of the time just putting out news happenings, events, and all of that. So I think we have just sort of put everything together. But if you should go into the technicalities, there are some differences.
I see. So, AmiaoDebra.com, how would we call that? Well, that website, can we say it is a showbiz website?
Well, so now I have evolved to call it an entertainment and lifestyle blog because there's a lot of elements about myself in there. I share my experience. I travel. I write about it, and I put that diary entry there, as well as I do news, and also the news coverage is not limited to just showbiz now. We have other elements that I have termed as lifestyle under that category. So currently we have evolved to add a lot of lifestyle, and even the lifestyle, we have our own definition for it, and so it now even includes technology, it includes businesses, and then people even doing amazing things in their various fields. So yes, we've evolved over the years to represent that.
Well, I'll thank you very much for your time. I'm so grateful. In due time, I'll reach out to you again. Right, so that was Ami Aldebra. He's a celebrity blogger, freelance journalist, and a reporter. Well, you're on the floor.
Yeah, so basically, bloggers are supposed to be writing their own opinions. I mean, as a blogger, you're mainly not really official as a website or a news outlet, but then your personal views and opinions, that's what they're supposed to write.
Right.
That's why some of these bloggers, they write their own headlines, I mean, like denting headlines, and that's how they feel. So in most cases, professionally, it's understood. But in Ghana, you know, for a time, blogger, that is how bloggers are supposed to operate. They are personal views, even the storylines. They have, if let's say Graphic Showbiz writes Andy Dusty is the best, a blogger can then twist it and say, I think, yes. That's how bloggers are supposed to operate. So for me, like I said, showbiz journalism is writing entirely everything about the industry, both the good and bad. That's what I see. Professional, that's what I see.
Right. Premier?
Well, Andy, good morning to our listeners. With respect to this particular subject, I think the first problem is how we get confused between who a blogger is and who a journalist is. You see that we often confuse most of the blogging sites to an entertainment website, because an entertainment journalist writes about the business of entertainment. I mean, with regards to the movies, anything pertaining to entertainment. So from shows or events that we do to movies, premieres, and celebrity scoops and all that, it falls under them. However, blogging is supposed to be somebody's view on his blog, what he thinks about a particular thing or subject. But unfortunately, it seems bloggers, in quotes, are mixing that with doing proper entertainment journalism. So now a blogger writes as if he is a journalist. It comes in that form where the person now sees a blogger as an entertainment journal. Because there are people who are owning, now I don't even see people owning blogs. Now they are all owning websites.
Yeah, it's
proper websites.
Almost.
Yes, so those times there was something
website, and then you own
something
a blog.
dot something.
Yeah, they have a blog. I mean,
do like a blogspot.
Yes,
right.
But now
it's getting much more interesting. Please hold on. Let's speak with Arnold Asamoah-Beidu. Arnold is a highly revered entertainment journalist, consultant, PR expert, and a showbiz critic in Ghana. He has a vast experience in show business and related sectors that spans over a decade. Mr. Asamoah-Beidu, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. You good?
Big boss, good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So, who is a showbiz journalist, in your opinion?
Well, we showbiz journalists, we are part of a bigger basket of journalists. The only difference is there's a speciality, and so the only reason why we call ourselves entertainment or as journalists or showbiz journalists is because of the speciality, what we report on, the kind of news that we present. And so, as showbiz journalists, we gather information and present them as news relating to showbiz related activities or art or entertainment. So it's just a specialty that separates one journalist from the other. And so you probably will have a finance journalist, you have a sports journalist, and you have a showbiz journalist. But ultimately, our core job is the same. Your ability to gather the information and present it as news. So the news that you are presenting or the news presentation can be in writing or in speaking. So for example, what you are doing now, you are actually a broadcast journalist. What I do with regards to writing, I'm a writer or I'm an entertainment journalist. So it's just a specialty that separates us from the other journalists. But the core objective is the same. Gather the information, present it as news, and that's it.
I see. So can I say Sorry, Arnold Asamoah, forgive me.
Yeah.
Arnold Asamoah Bedu is a showbiz journalist.
Yes, I'm a showbiz journalist, and if you check the Ghana Journalist Association's definition of who a journalist is, they have two definitions. A journalist who actually goes through OJT, and that's the on-the-job training, and a journalist who actually goes through tuition, like the classroom kind of journalist. And so, for me, I went through the OJT system where I started with PNP through Weekly Filler, Raz newspaper, and then Graphic Showbiz. And so, two kinds of journalists: one that goes through the OJT system, and the one that goes through the tuition system. And so, for me, with my vast experience, I learned on the job, and I'm sure there are a couple of people who also learned on the job as well. But regardless of the process that you go through, whether it's OJT or it's through the tuition, the rules are the same. You need to be factual, you need to be objective, and then you need to present the news in its correct form. What I mean by its correct form is, if you are writing, if you're writing in English, it must be properly written in the correct form, proper English. If you are speaking it like you are doing, you need to present it in its proper form. So whether you go through OJT, you go through tuition, the rules that binds the journalism ethics are the same.
I see. So in the case of ethics,
Yeah.
where it is not properly exercised, recently there was a team that came up with radio shows that radio shows who we listen to radio shows, but they don't apply proper ethics of journalism.
Yeah.
And so it's creating problems. In the case of showbiz journalism,
Yeah.
do you think proper ethics must be acquired, or better yet, laid down as structures, or it becomes freelance? I mean, anyone can write anything and go scot-free, because that's what is happening, if I'm not too mistaken, here in our society.
Well, the point is, freelance is also part of journalism. I mean, that's why we have freelance journalists.
That's right.
So regardless of your form of journalism or whichever cloak of journalist you pick, you must still go through or abide or adhere to the ethics of journalism. Research, being factual, being objective, checking, cross-checking and checking again, and presenting the news in its correct form. So regardless of, once you brand yourself as a journalist, regardless of the cloak or the speciality, the ethics still must apply. So if there's somebody out there who is calling his or herself a showbiz journalist, as journalist, and that fellow is not adhering to those ethics, then the person is not doing the right thing. You get it? And so regardless, you still need to really stick to the ethics.
So in a country like Ghana, where let me choose my words carefully, some people are called celebrities. When I say some people, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean,
Yes.
some people, matter of fact, don't even deserve that title. Better yet, they are called celebrities. When you're writing stories about them, better yet, do you call them celebrities?
Yeah, it depends, because the word celebrity, for me, I think sometimes we underuse or we overuse it. Yes, because and again, a lot of people do not get the real definition of who a celebrity is. A celebrity basically is somebody who is popular, who is famous, who is known within the entertainment and sports fraternity. Again, the word celebrity is coined from the word celebrate. And so anybody whose personality or works are celebrated, the person can be tagged as a celebrity. You understand? So basically, it's a person popular, it's a person famous, it's a person celebrated. So if you have two people even celebrating that fellow, I can tag the person as a celebrity. You understand? Is that person popular in his or her field of endeavor? That person can be tagged as a celebrity. So most often than not, you hear critics talk about, oh, this person doesn't deserve to be called a celebrity. However, that fellow is popular. That fellow is famous. That fellow is being celebrated for something he or she is doing. So for me, we should really understand the basic definition of who a celebrity is. And I'm sure we will not be going back and forth about, oh, this person doesn't deserve to be called a celebrity. No, some people deserve to be called celebrity based on the definition.
When it comes to the GJ Awards,
Yes.
do they honor or celebrate showbiz journalists?
As far as I know, what they do, they do. What, because somebody like William
William Asiedu.
William Esiedu, may you forgive me, I just forgot his name. He's the president of the Arts Writers Association of Ghana.
That's why.
Yes, he's won it a couple of times. And so what they do is it's like a bidding. They open up they open it up. Then not really nomination. They open it up for you to present your articles, whether it's a feature article or it's a research work that you've done, or like any article that you've done as a journalist, as an art journalist. You present it. There's a panel that would go review it, and then they will shortlist and then award. There's nothing like nomination. It's not like a popularity award. It's a review panel, select committee kind of like the Grammys. And so you only have to present your work. They review it, and if it fits the criterion or criteria that they are looking for, then they shortlist you and they award you. So somebody like William has won it a couple of times.
Have you presented yours yet?
I have not. Over the period, I have not.
Why?
It's a personal decision. I do not know why. I have not been motivated enough to submit any of the articles that I've written over the years. I do not know why. But then maybe in the future I'll be motivated enough to make a presentation.
Right. Thank you very much. Try and present yours to make us proud.
I will.
Because when you win, I can brag. So
I'll go win. If I present, I'll go win. I'm very sure if I present, I'll go win.
Sure. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
I'm so grateful for your time. That was Arnold Asamoah-Bedu. Premier, back at you.
Yes, Andy. So, you see, like I said, we are unable to differentiate between the whole blogging and then proper entertainment journalism. Therefore, and I don't blame Ghanaians, because the digital space, in terms of entertainment, I think blogging took the first stage with regards to that, because initially it was the PMP and all those other how do we call them, print media, who were doing their work. And then all of a sudden, when the digital space started, we had a lot of people owning blogs who started writing. And so just like how we assume that in Ghana, every paste is called Pepsodent and every noodles is called Indomie. I mean, the fact that you are the first to actually bring in the product, it is you that seems to own that space.
And I worship at the BIA.
I mean, you get it. So,
toothpaste BIA,
Pepsodent. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it makes entertainment journalists who do, especially entertainment in the digital space, are being looked or seen as being bloggers.
Right.
But then, I think now, I don't even think we have bloggers in Ghana now.
Yeah.
No, we are now. They are all entertainment journalists. So I don't think we are having anybody doing. Which blogs?
Zion Felix
is operating an entertainment website.
No, but he's a blogger. He writes his own opinion.
Something called vlogger.
Yeah, that's video.
Yes. No, they are vloggers, but Zion Felix is not a vlogger.
Yeah.
So he's morphed into a vlogger.
Yeah,
Now
that
more
is
than
now.
both.
Yeah,
He's
that's
both.
like both. He still uses the website.
You see?
All right.
Because GH
So-
I mean, all those boys, they've not.
Look, he's a blogger.
Okay, so there are different types. Look, there are different types of bloggers. There's a blogger that will blog on the whole .blogspot, and then there's what we call micro bloggers. They write. You see the people that have the Instagram pages and are blogging. These are micro bloggers. Though some of them
Are
would
they
also
professionally in
no.
the-
You see,
That's just
in
like
terms
their
of
own.
blogging,
Yes.
you don't necessarily need to have a certain
Professional
No, like because
background.
you coin a word for them as micro bloggers.
Yeah,
I
there's
want to
a-
know if it's like an accepted word.
Yeah, no,
or
it's an accepted word. Micro blog. Anybody that's listening can actually even Google it to find out. But just that you don't necessarily need to be a trade. If you're a journalist, yes. But again, across the world, in terms of entertainment reporting, there's a certain thin line, a certain category of reporting or writing that has to do with gossip or tabloid. You know, so you'd see how across the world you see the paparazzis, the way they chase all these guys and all of those things, but it's still within a certain ethics. So even if you're a blogger today and you have all the attention, there's something what is called media ethics and law. You need to understand these things
the
enough to
fundamentals,
know
the fundamentals,
where
yeah.
not to cross. The fact that people, the fact that people do not take people on,
Grammatically.
doesn't. I mean, you could be a blogger, but you should understand issues relative to defamation, libel, and all of these things. You need to understand it. You also need to understand copyright stuff. I see people go on, say, Logic's page, for instance, take your content,
Yes.
blog about it without giving credit. Again, in media law,
when a creative art court come. All these things
Yeah.
will deal with them.
So yes, in media law, for
Every
so
day.
there is what sets the proper journalist apart is that me, for instance, when I studied in communication school, I spent a whole semester studying media law and ethics. So you would understand some of these things. You know how to cross-check, how to attribute. Most important, when you tell a story or when you take somebody's story, how to give the proper credit and all of those things. So I think that for a lot of the bloggers, sometimes they give some of these things to chance. And so when they do it, it kind of opens it up and it creates an impression that is a general entertainment. There are proper showbiz journalists. Arnold is one. I mean, he writes, you would see. And that's why, for instance, when Arnold writes an opinion piece, it carries more weight because there's a certain expectation that he knows better and he does better. When Ameya also writes, there's a certain weight it carries. You understand? So you attach a lot more weight and importance. So there are a lot of people that if they want a certain opinion piece that will carry weight, they would most likely prefer Arnold as some of the most established showbiz journalists than a lot of the bloggers. But some of these bloggers as well have grown and adapted and have started to pursue all those good practices, like Zion Felix. I mean, he's grown out of just running the blog to now growing and creating a whole entertainment brand, and then coming into a whole vlog and pursuing his content. You can call his content titillating content or anything, but there's an audience for it. So, but the tabloid culture is something within the social whatever of Ghana. It's still new to us, but the tabloid culture, it's everywhere. I see people say that, oh, in Nigeria we don't do ABCD, you Ghana you guys do all. They do worse. The tabloid culture in Nigeria, it is worse. It's there. As to whether it's good or not, from an academic perspective, there's always a discussion. When you go, when we're in communication school, every time there will be this debate as to whether it is a good or not. There's always a debate on just so you can understand the various nuances, understand the ethics element of it and all of that. However, I think the bloggers, they need to keep a lot of the bloggers that are coming in that are not well trained, say like for instance, they didn't go all through the journalism school and everything. They will do themselves a lot of good. Even if they want to do tabloid or gossip, approach it with a certain ethic. You see what they do on you say waiting. It is more tabloid or gossip, but check the Don consistently. I keep saying it. He's on a fine line. You won't get him crossing. He will ask you the questions. He will put in the words alleged. He will add all those words that is more or less like a caveat. Assemble one is like I can. And yes, he can.
No, that I'm just saying he can
purge. Yeah, he can easily purge himself.
Yes,
from it. Yes. So look at Don, for instance. Don is a perfect example of how to do it with a gossip tabloid angle and do it right within the confines of
Don is an
what
OG
the laws
from
accept.
GBC.
Right, Mark.
I'm not a blogger.
You blog at Hits FM.
blogger. Mark, you know, get social media pages.
Yeah.
Hey, that life. I wish I was not addicted to social media like that.
Why?
It be sweet too.
Oji banana refi the password.
They don't know say you did there.
That be any refi the password.
They don't know say they did the
Andy,
Yeah.
Mark's Instagram, he's posted 6 times or 7 times. Just pictures. I mean, I've checked.
Yeah.
No caption. No.
But what do you want to do?
They say you blogger, senior blogger. You for blog.
Make a account right me.
That's all they do there. Insult.
Babies you sharp.
It's very bad. It's very bad. Our social media culture is bad in Ghana. It's not good.
Andy,
Yes, sir.
yesterday I heard that Nigerian who spoke as if Nigerians are not Africans. The thing we talk, if not for do that thing again.
Paran.
I see why Ashes was also feeling that, oh, the Ghanaian people don't like themselves, the showbiz people. Ashes used to say that, and I tell him that Ashes is everywhere. When you watch American movies, you see people killing people who don't like them. If you watch true Indian movies,
The American tabloid culture is worse. American UK.
If they didn't have tabloid, where did the name come from?
Yeah, it came from there. It is worse.
So sometimes this pretense that we make it look like
For attention.
we like our people. There's that we have camps. If you are not in my camp, I won't force. Even in the family, we have camps.
Yeah, sure.
But then one family.
Father
rules with the daughters more. Mothers will rule with the sons.
Yeah.
Aha.
I mean, that
So,
fashion is there also.
I mean, but in all, we should just have an attitude of working together.
Yeah.
You know, for me, the blogging business, I almost went into it with Nanaya. You're 18. I almost went into it. But you know, my normal self, anything that I do, I want to see it in a particular class and style. And so if I do not have the strength at that time, I won't even start. And it must end well. It must achieve results. And so I wasn't ready at the time, but I could join them any moment from now. Yes, because
to share your opinion.
I am also opinionated.
Right.
And so by default, I stand a better chance of even surviving in that space.
Succeeding. Yes.
Just that for me,
and you will get people to visit, just like writing a column, right?
Yeah.
In a paper.
Yeah. Some of them are because you see, my training at Joy FM, which is the informal way, taught me a lot. People like Marco Zumelo, people like Frechidi, some of the top newscasters, and Andrew Owusu from GBC, late Dusty Wayne, Tommy and Enforcing, my boss. So you should know I have had training from former people who have done journalism from the former space, like GBC, like Prince Chega had at GBC. So if I go into it, I'll be different a bit. We must be factual. That is the bottom line. Defamation is only defamation when you can't back it with facts. When you have facts to back it, it is no longer defamation. Yes. And so if we are going to write, so I agree with somebody, it was Zion Felix last night on Hit FM with Pounds, who said, but why are you all giving Zion Felix a loan? Every time you talk about blog, he's the only one you call.
Because he's been doing, Mark, he's been doing well. He's become like the poster boy for blogs, or how to do it right.
He's working hard.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
But the boy is really working.
What happened to Amir?
I was also doing well.
Okay. It's not. But you often most of the radio people or TV, you always call Zion and you leave Amir out.
No, but
Amir is a top boy.
So it's like more or less like. I mean, as a top boy,
like a princess.
So you did it. Like but Zion operates in the. You see the young guys that came. Zion operates in that.
Chame Kwame gave me this advice. Chame Kwame says, "Brah, this industry, when they begin to call you brah, they want to pack you. so don't. I don't listen to these people. So you're brah penny,
a big guy.
They will leave you behind. So for me, he said that if the story comes, they are only reporters, so they report, and which I agree. If it's positive, report. If it's negative, report. But this thing about the Nigerian guy saying that you should always say only positive things, even the human beings. Can you live on earth and just say positive things about human beings till you die?
No.
Then you don't like your fellow human being. Then he makes mistake, you won't say it. He makes mistakes. Say, oh, that's why you will like you when you even make mistakes.
But that guy himself, he doesn't have the moral right to talk about it. Look, I've seen a number of his videos where the highlight has been negative. He doesn't have the moral right to actually even talk about it. But again, what he wanted to achieve is what he's getting. He's getting like
talkability.
3 days talkability. He shouldn't get in his country. He thinks that when he goes.
But is he big in his country?
Oh no, Brian is a comedian.
It's not the guy. I've not seen. I just heard the audio on radio yesterday.
Your comedians, more comedians.
No, but he's a comedian.
Your comedians, more comedians.
He's been around. I mean, he lived here in Ghana.
Nigeria, brow.
Oh, David.
Oh, he lived here.
Yes, Brian.
So he understands all of it.
And when he left, this is what he said about us.
I don't know whether he's left. I mean, he's always been around though.
He's feeding into. There's this.
Is it not that Nigerian comedian in Ghana who wasn't funny?
No. Some other guy.
You know some Nigerian in Ghana who is not funny.
People
mention the name. We don't know him.
I don't know him. He's not popular.
People were saying that he wasn't. People were saying he wasn't funny.
I forget his name. No, he's found a niche, but you see, he's feeding up. You see, there's something called acting out of bad faith. There's a certain narrative, particularly that limits to the talent community, where this is how they feel. But rather than educate them and bring them up to speed to understand that this is how it works, right? He's feeding into it, knowing fully well that he will get some few people that will say, see, I catch him and everything, But if you see what he's talking about, he's connecting it to something something that has always been put out. Support your own. He's
because he's lived here and he knows how
he knows it. So he knows. Look, when I saw it, I said that Ghana here, it's easy to instigate talkability. If you
Oh,
understand us.
of course.
It's easy. The media space and everything. It's easy to tap into it because you just know what to take us. And once he's lived here, and look, don't forget that he's running a platform that's on also social media. He thrives on a certain visibility and viewership. So in as much as he would engage on the titillating things to get your attention, he will do it. He will do it regardless of whether it's factual or not. Look, Nigeria, I'm saying to you, the tabloids, they do it. Do you know what's called Insta blog Niger? What is he talking about? But it still does not stop their talent from going on and doing the things that they have to do. This point where we make an excuse to say that, oh, you know how every time when there's an issue, everybody looks to industry. When there's success, nobody looks to industry.
It has always been there. I mean, football, when there's a win, football, they don't say coach will do well. They will say players did well.
But if we are going to look to industry, then it means that we need to be able to also hold some of these talents, right, to a certain level of understanding and helping to enable the same industry. It is not enough to always call on industry to consistently enable when they do not understand how to enable us back. That way it doesn't work. We all have to enable each other.
Yes.
Okay.
And
All right, so let's move on to our next topic because of time. Well, I mean not
Because I wanted to round up 2 points.
Yeah,
In talking about facts, Andy, we live in a system where people conceal information. That's why most of these guys speculate, because they speculate so that it pushes you to come out with the truth. Because usually we conceal information. That's one challenge we have.
Not all of us.
Oh, logic. There are a lot of people that
I don't.
And also there are issues that is hashed up, and then we leave it. You come back to visit the issue and then delve much into it. You see how so far we haven't really had any journalist in terms of our showbiz aspect. Our old issue be investigate journalism.
It's a style. Some can do that, but
so far we haven't really had. We haven't really.
Our problem is funding.
It's not funding. It's actually even audience. It's actually even audience.
I mean,
it's actually
investigative journalists in terms of showbiz or entertainment.
Listed the number of those good stories and the hits that ordinarily they get. Good stories in quotes. A number of good stories and everything. You question the audience that meanwhile, you are the same people that spend a lot more time chasing these titillating stories than this particular story. So on the basis of your audience behavioral tendencies per se, what do you think these people will do?
Now listen to what Pandero 7 is saying. Where's Mark? I need your attention. Pandero 7 says, Sandy Dusty, I've seen him using that platform to mock Nigerian celebrities and even his political leaders. He just wanted to extend his viewership to Ghana. And that's it.
And then with this one,
I want to take and blog. Says Andy, now what I do is microblogging and I prefer Twitter. And most radio stations do a lot of microblogging, but they are ignorant about it. It says a little education here. We have bloggers in Ghana and we have microbloggers too. Microblogging is done on platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. There are different types of blogging. We have food, clothing, sports, and etc. Do we have Ghanaians blogging about food?
Yes. Oh, have you seen Talandi World?
Oh, yeah.
No.
There's a Talandi World having
They have food network.
huge platform on Instagram.
Even they have food network.
Even
They have other
OMG had spin-offs that cut across food and everything.
and food
All right.
decorators in
I see. Yo, let's get to our next one. Charlie, today is Tuesday, as I said earlier. Yesterday, Sadiq was going on and on and on, and he left small. He turned blue between Sadia. Or Mark says it's what? Sadia.
Don't say what you they can't talk about. This killer, they sit down there, go for 10 blow me. This mafia, they sit down there, how go for 10 blow me and this mafia.
So yesterday, we played sound bites. There were sound bites of Marco Kukumante saying in an auditorium that, extending government's plans to a certain congregation. Now, afterwards, he came back to speak on the new studios. Now, since Mark is here, I want us to take a listen to the issues again. So you will have enough time to answer all our questions. Please stay with us.
One of the things this government and what let's say the music industry for Leah and for me. Obo, Obi of Nigeria, and I was South Africa, and Africa, and I knew. Now the year everybody is see that was a dropping. Now it is because we are recording below standards. We want to move a notch higher, if not more than a notch, to ultra-modern studio, like 50, 60, 70, 80 track board. I hear that now people say I also software. College, sound engineer college, we say software is the white people are still recorded analog, they are still recorded hardware, the cheap way. It's the RBC ultra modern studio, and we'll go and train some engineers with the makers of the equipment, so that they say your recording will be close to what any international artist recorded every year. You can still do your creatives. Maybe I was away, studio, studio, whatever. But you have to come and finish it well. If there's a mastering studio there, you go to the mastering studio too. You go and finish it there. See, you can compete anywhere in the world. Sometimes you wish to say, but let's get
right. So that was Mark Okekumanti addressing an audience in 2017. Now, Mark came back to say this.
If I should give you the scoop, and it still went with me, we got our money. Creative Arts Council.
Cash Camo, Creative Arts Council.
And so from next month,
we are
going to see, like your studios. So we are going to get industry people to come and we think yes, brainstorm. Where do you think we'll do our SWOT analysis, we'll do all that we need to do to then put a strategy together in the next 4 years. Where do we start and where do we have to go? So then we all together, we have a plan, and then we'll move with the plan in connection with the manifesto. So we'll put the manifesto. That's what we said we're going to do. How do you want it done? Like I started asking, do you want our studio in town or out of town?
The studio you mentioned, I remember you mentioned, we discussed some world-class studios some time ago. Would it also be factored into this project?
With the studio,
or is it
with the monies that we are getting, we can afford the land and the building for in the beginning. This year we can start. Yes.
How much?
You go buy land and build the studio.
We go buy land and start the building this year.
Mark, their construction, they don't go.
Hey, they're OCC there.
You are the one who share baby, Papa.
But if you agree and you get your peace of mind to
actually,
work.
why should I put a studio in town?
At Jamestown.
I give you a studio. I give you a studio that when you go there, you have your apartment. Your bedroom, your kitchen, whatever. All the people who are coming to work, you live in that same compound. If it's you book for a week, you are there.
Right. So that was Mark Okekumanti informing us of the ultra-modern studio he was going to build. Now, for some reasons, Mark wouldn't do it again. We asked him his reason. This was what he had to say.
In the political space, there's something called agenda setting. When you want something done, you set agenda and then you wait to see if the interest will be there. But it looked like a majority of the people who spoke at the time didn't show much interest. Maybe some also had the interest, but they didn't come out strong to let us know. So it was a so-so whether it should happen or it should not happen. So the docket is not closed, but we still want to see people, like the way people are showing the interest in the film village or creative art village. The music studio didn't show that kind of interest. Pieces was, you remember Pieces said it was outmoded hardware, old school sort of, and all. And then even DKB too, they were not for, but were also not against. The negative people were stronger. I'm sure the positive people, maybe Zamalet, Kiwa, but they were not strong. Most of these people are laid back. And you don't want to go and build anything that the industry will not patronize, and then it comes across as, oh, you just decided to build something just to make yourself happy.
Right. So Marco Kwekumanti defending it. The reason he would no longer pursue building an ultramolding studio for Ghana. But few days ago, the MPP launched its manifesto for its next administration. And the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, spoke to Ghanaians, informing us again about a recording studio. What happened?
The creative arts has already been mentioned. We see the creative arts as a major growth pole. There's so much talent in the creative arts. But the problem they have is access to studios, because there's no capital to do that. And so this is why we are going to set up large recording studios in Accra, Kumasi, Tema, and Takoradi as part of our entrepreneurial hub strategy in partnership with the private sector. So, and this would be for recording artists to rent space, do their recordings in these studios. The Creative Arts Fund is going to come up as part of the Creative Arts Bill that has been passed by Cabinet and is going to Parliament. And of course, the completion of the theaters in Kumasi and the construction of new ones in Takoradi and Tamale.
So that was the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Mark.
Yeah, man.
I'm in your zone now.
Yeah.
So after telling us that...
Do you have some 45 minutes to go?
Hey, who are they?
Hey, yesterday you gave Sadiq and...
Sadia
asked me to stay at home.
And by obedience,
yes.
you truly stayed at home.
Yes. And today he said, now you know.
So that's why I was wondering why you brought Sadiq.
He just looked me like, So, Mark, after refusing to build it any longer or pursue the dream of acquiring or building a better studio for Mother Ghana, what's changed? Why is the MPP campaigning with building an ultramolding studio after the president of the Creative Arts, who birthed the idea to give Ghanaians a good studio? Now they're back.
I'm sure this is why yesterday some of you said I was contradicting. Is that why?
That was the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Go and listen to the second audio that you played. I remember saying that when you were playing it earlier, I told them that I was at the hospital. At that time that you were doing that interview on phone, they were taking blood. Yes, I remember that.
They were drawing blood from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chimoja.
And the underlying sentence is that, you remember I said the docket is still
pending,
not closed.
Oh, okay.
You go and listen to it.
Yes, I heard it.
Did you hear that line? I said the docket is still not closed.
Yeah.
But I would want to see the positive, those who want it more. Because in the governance space, it works. That is why you see that President Kufuor says one touch, then they will give it to public. They just want to know how the public feel about
demand and supply.
Correct. And then, because already the money is scarce. So if today, and the questionnaire is not going to speak, it's my time.
the man is trying to speak.
He will hijack
He will heckle everyone.
Nobody is talking. Yesterday I sat in my... That's why I didn't come out. I sat in my ghetto and listen. And that's why I'm able to remember all the things he said.
Yes.
And so, if you... Per that line, we have not contradicted. I said the docket was still open. We just want to see how much we have interest in. You know, on Saturday evening, I watch music. Gafa so no kind of music music. 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 So I saw Nerex.
Right.
After his performance. He did very well. They interviewed him, and then he said that I'm sure based on the manifesto that afternoon, Gafa wanted to know some of the things about that, whether it was good for the studio. You know what he said? They asked him, what do you want the government to do for you? He said, I struggled to become Nerex. And so if government can do things that will help underground artists. And then he said he's not listening to the manifesto, but he mentioned studio. Go and check that. You can go and pick the video. After that, he said that they also need training because a lot of people are practicing, but they don't know a lot. You remember when he said he wanted my attention? It was some boy I was chatting with.
Okay.
And he was telling me that he wants to know more about. So people want to learn. Some don't not want to learn, but there are some of them who want to learn. But remember when we were doing the master classes, people thought it was just a waste of time. But there are others who have interest in these things. And so with the studio, now that you remember when I said the first time, I said I was convincing government. If you listen to the first audio in Kumasi, I said I was convincing government. So now that it's in the manifesto, I think it's an order. I this morning when I was coming out, I played Bob Marley's Coming from the Cold. And it was the other Bob Marley. Coming from the Cold, Bob Marley.
And I'm so there.
Please check. When was that song recorded?
Coming from the Cold was like 18,
yes,
1980
it was like
something.
182. Yes, Coming from the Cold.
Look, still
and listen
solid.
to the sound.
Yeah,
no, early 80s.
Yeah,
no, very early 80s.
Because then I used to live at Mateko where some police barracks was next to me.
No, 1980. 1980, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
80s,
And
yeah.
these police people, every morning, they will play it and disturb me. So I know and I remember my age around that time.
Yeah.
See, have you listened to the Shatawale Beyonce song?
No.
Play it and compare it to any of the Shatawale recordings. You will see that, Charlie, technology, it matters. Even the Nigerians are picking up. We were the masters of sound. And now we are not. You remember the day you did the Sarkodie album review? I said, if this is our champ, and this is his recording, this is his sound, then we have a problem. We have a problem. And gradually it is becoming the standard. And we are accepting it. But if you say music is a global material or global product, then we ought to work on things that could make us compete. Today, because of Netflix, even the Jackos and all of them, when they come back hard, Kumawood, they must change their style. Yes. Encore. So, let me share this experience with you. Those of us who think that MPP is promising and all of that. I was in China, same government work, and so we had a small conference on the film festival. And then one man, if I mention the country he comes from, people could trace it. So I won't mention, but he's African. And I noticed it was African, so I got close because we had Italians, people from Russia. So of course I got close to my African brother. We understand our language. He said, "My brother, are you a politician?" I didn't know whether to say yes or no because I didn't know what he wanted to say. So I said yes. And he said, that's why after every line, my president, politicians talk like that. I am not. I'm a mission, in that space. The diplomats and those who work with the embassies, they call themselves mission workers. I'm a mission worker here. I said, okay. So I said, how is Nana? I said, you mean Nana, the president? He said, yes, your president. Also, Nana is fine. I said, I like him. So I wanted to probe. Why do you like him? He said, he's a true African leader. I said, Ghanaian. Said, no, he's an African leader. So I still wanted to probe because where he was going, I had an interest. Then I said, why do you call him an African leader? What do you know about him? He says, free SHS, is going on. I know 1D, 1F.
Mm.
Yes. So I said, oh, you know all these things? He says, yes. Then I said, what if we are not able to do it? He said, but you started free SHS. And I know 1D, 1F has started. So he said other things. And I said, so in all this, because we have promised, you have confidence in us that we can do all. He said, at least it's better than mine. My president hasn't promised anything. He's just there.
Exactly what I said.
He's just there.
He's from which country? Nigeria.
I said, I won't say it. My president is just there. And guess what? Rocky Dawuni is in Ghana. It was mixed at Ghana. From there.
Okay.
Zab Mallet went to that studio to mix it for them. So we want to create that environment. MP used to travel just to go and play an instrument in one
Switzerland
country and come back.
We need it. We need it. Andy.
You know that apart from that, studio is a tourism product. If in America, if you mention Hit Factory, everybody who understands music wants to go and see Hit Factory. You remember the audio I played to you, this American who said they wanted to make Ghana the hub of sound.
Yeah.
Can we build something so that Jay-Z and all that? Jack Knight, you can Google Jack Knight. That audio was Jack Knight. You know, Teddy Riley wants to set up here. So this thing, we just must get Teddy and say that, guy,
come and just set it up first.
The government is ready to partner you, do this. And he's ready. Have you heard the remix of Kiddy's Sages?
Yes, I've heard it.
They want to
Solid.
Well, have they released it yet?
No.
But have you heard the song?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Mark has been playing it to us.
The old one be
Mark never changed.
old one be
Mark
garbage.
Abacho.
Oh. Yeah,
But you see the difference.
But I've heard
Difference
it.
be wide.
It is sound. And when I
It is
hear,
vocoder.
yeah, correct.
Steady. It's Kiddy.
And Teddy Riley has sent this instrumental again, which I have. Andy, the raw instrumental.
Not mixed yet. David, no. We don't mark Ghana.
I know Taros Riley.
I know Tyrus Riley.
Teddy Riley.
Riley for the
Teddy is a senior man.
So we have Talos Riley.
We have Teddy Riley.
Yes.
When you're proud,
Dano.
Because we have what?
Dano.
Tadei.
Thanos.
You know, so it's already people have shown interest in this type of business in Ghana. The producer that we met, you and I, we were on the same WhatsApp platform. You set up the platform.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Murphy.
And
Last
last
year,
year,
KRS-One gave him a name, the messenger or something. He has some name like that.
last year, Year of Return gave us a lot of that exposure, where a lot of top world-class producers, even Teddy Riley, if he hadn't been covered, he would have been in Ghana by now. You know, with all the other producers, Jazzo and all these people want to come. You just must find a few of them who connect, and then instead of thinking Ghana, let's think Africa, and then get to sell that studio like Hit Factory. How many of us in this country know mastering?
Few. Very few.
The Bob Marley song that you just played has been mastered. At the time, it was Chris Blackwell. And those of us who do not know, when Chris Blackwell discovered Bob Marley has recorded before.
In the 70s.
Some junk recorded.
And
They were more like mentos. It was called Mento at that time. Some low-key songs.
Correct.
Yeah.
But because the man knows that in the commercial space, you need sound. Some of the old Bob Marley songs,
he brought it back.
Chris Blackwell redid some of those songs, and that's what we enjoy today. Yeah. So we are those of us who think that give the money to us like appear to stand. It was rather unfortunate.
Sad,
but Bodo Stega made a lot of money from Ghanaian artists. Yeah. Our 20 years ago, the Daddy Lumbers, apart from Kojenchi, almost every top artist who made it in this country came from Bodo Stega's studio.
Yeah, sure.
And look at the Dutch marks before Euro that we gave to Bodo. Foreign exchange. So we too, when we build that thing, foreign exchange.
Yes.
If Jay-Z and wifey come, and they come with their children.
Obabi.
Obabi, yeah.
Shut up, say Obabi.
And when they come, and they have their place with their children, and they are recording, and proper recording takes time. It is the computer one that takes a bit to make. When I hear them say on radio that, I just went to the booth, and less than I was
It's
done.
1 hour, I was
You
done.
do believe we use 1 day to do this
Yeah.
job? I laugh. That's why it sounds like that, you know. So when we get that kind of studio and they come in, they book for say 3 months. Do you know the kind of money we are going to get?
Hotels.
There's a university
Journey.
close to where I live. It's called Wisconsin University. It was relatively a smaller hotel if you compare to Central and Methodist. But guess what? They've closed the gap very fast. You know how they closed the gap? Because they marketed the school to Nigerians. So if you go to Wisconsin, about 90% of them
Nigerians,
are Nigerians.
yes, true.
And they pay foreign money
Yeah,
because they are experts. You don't live in the schools. When the person is from
Foreign
outside,
students.
Pay more.
foreign student, you pay more. And so Wisconsin is growing very fast. So if you are smart, anything that can bring foreign exchange, and that is where Exim, Sadiq's bank comes in. Exim, any investment that you will do, that will bring that foreign exchange, exports, that's why it's called Exim, export, import. Correct. They are ready to invest. So we just must get people who are ready. PPP, and I believe in PPP. In the vice president's speech, at the tail end, they did like a recap of and I saw Creative Hub as one of. I'm sure someone here. At the tail end, there was a recap of all, and they said they wanted to.
The investment hubs.
And Creative was one of it, and they accept that, and they accept that Niteko will see you.
Shout out to
Niteko
Niteko.
will see you. Niteko will see you. Campaign has started here. So
Can you say propaganda minister?
so guys, I agree that what we wanted to see, we didn't see enough. And it is because of the laws of the land. I told somebody that maybe if it had been NDC, the bill would have been passed. Maybe the reason is that how the 2 million even went to a ball showed that they can fast track some things in their own way. Unfortunately, the MPP will go with the law. They will make sure that the right things are done so that it won't come back and haunt us.
Democratically.
Correct. And we have engaged stakeholders.
Backing vocalist.
And we have engaged stakeholders on this. And see, when these things, I get surprised that stakeholders don't come out to speak. That we've engaged, and some of them are part of the problem. No, I've not seen the bill. It cannot go. If you've not seen the bill, it cannot go. You are not asking us why we've not passed the bill. You put handcuff around my wrist and say I should box and win.
Madam from the Kawana.
Wait.
Madam from.
Hey, okay. Your best friend. Yes, your best friend. Okay. So we will get to I'm drafting the thing, stakeholder engagement. It goes to Attorney General. Attorney General also make their input. So it's not as easy as even me I thought. I didn't know that was the process of passing a bill. It's no joke. That is why even the film bill, go and find out how many years it took to get the film bill passed. So it's a process. We have scotched the snake. We are just about killing it. It's rather unfortunate that things have delayed. But like I said, we're going to put up the domes, which I came here to talk about. I can show you the bill, the invoice, everything on my phone. I had gone to Jubilee, lobby, they bought into it, and then this thing came up. COVID. And you know China, we're going to get it from China. Yesterday, I was with Nana Santibede too. And he said some things I was so touched. He said, Mark, where I sit, you people forget I'm one of you, but I'm actually one of you. I sing. I mean, theater. Yes. I am part of you. So I wish.
Hearing there's a particular popular place that he's connected to. I don't know how sure that this Sandbox.
Yeah, the beach.
The beach.
Oh, sir, I'll find out.
Yeah.
I'll find out. Nana, if you are listening, to answer the question.
It turned out.
It turned out. So you know there are people who are in the government space who's hidden or tacit knowledge that we don't know is with us. And he also shared the same pain. Anna Ghana, you're passing my HS. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the power to change it.
Mm.
Even the president doesn't have the power to change it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, that's a question.
But then again, within the same government, we've seen instances where, when it matters most, within emergency circumstances, they're able to push through because they prioritize it. We've seen a number of deals.
Correct. That is why I said that
everything.
Per our own, if let's assume that your friend is saying, I have not seen the bill, why are you going to pass it? Let's assume president wants to use executive power and lobby parliamentarians and say, guys, I need this, let it go. This same industry will come out and say, I have not seen a document.
No, but it should be part of, the consultation should be done widely. You cannot consult everybody anyway.
Brother consultation.
Yeah.
That is why I don't want to hear this thing about I have not seen it. But I hear a lot of industry people say it.
But Mark, I'm saying that
thing that they are going to pass and it is hidden. And radio presenters, I'm sure you've all heard some.
Yes.
You allow them to say it.
But Mark, these are legitimate concerns. However, I'm saying that within the same emergency circumstances that I cite, they are still able to do the consultations that is needed and pass it
SHS.
when it is priority for them.
Free SHS. Yeah. If you want to do free SHS, sometimes they say it should go through parliament, pass. Sometimes your executive can use the power to do it moves. Have you heard how many people in the academia have you heard coming to fight free SHS?
A lot. From consultancies to teacher groups that were concerned about, first and foremost, where you're going to get funding, how is it going to happen? There's been varied. It was just the government that decided that, look, whether we are ready, we are not ready, we won't find the money or not. Once they considered it a priority, they made it happen. We've seen deals and laws and things that once they consider a priority, look at the zipline one, for instance. They made it happen. I am saying that if these policymakers and decision makers consider us as priority,
it hurts me that
make it happen.
Sadiq has not been to any of our stakeholder engagement. He's never been there before, so that's why he's speaking the way he's speaking.
Well, but
I'm looking at it for their governance, how they are able to.
Let me view yesterday. You had your first shot. Okay.
It's a gag me with that.
Yes.
You gag you know with that.
Yes, I gag up. So we had this meeting. The previous chief director, tourism, art and culture. We've had 3 in 4 years. We had 3 different chief directors. Even 4. Almost every year we change the chief director. Yes, the one we met left us 6 months. Dr. Song took over, he left. And the third person came, he left. Alaji left a few months ago, and the new one is there. The one before the new chief director, in a meeting, some of the film makers, one of them ended up giving us lectures on aviation and someone.
What's connection to film?
I mean, nothing. We're lost to the extent that the chief director said that, do you guys want us to pass this bill? Because they said that we should engage the whole industry again, and they're not going to allow.
The film people, their bill has been passed for them. It's just
no, they are still under creative arts.
I know, but
yes,
for them.
But you that your bill has not been passed. You don't come from stakeholder engagement to come and see some of these things. You won't come.
Anyone ever invite me?
And if I invite you, but Rexoma comes. So Andy, like I said, we have scotched the snake. We are just about killing it, and so that is why it is prudent you allow us finish this thing. Yes.
Okay, Mark. So as president of the Creative Arts Council, do you think the MPP government has done well for the creative arts?
I think that if you watch, did you see my video on the manifesto?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. I said that I'm very consistent. I said that where I sit and what I know, we stand a better chance with MPP than NDC.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah.
How?
It's true.
Back in McAllister.
But it's true. Why you being like,
oh, you a promise failed. It's better than a promise not made.
What are you talking about?
On the most serious, we don't even know the
promise failed.
Hold on.
Can I get 1 minute to explain?
Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Hold. On the most serious note, listen. I need to share time accordingly. Hold on. Mr. Logic just brought to mind something I've never thought about.
Yes.
That Mr. Logic, you are giving him back. Are you the vice? I just remembered. Mark, who's your vice?
We are his vice.
we are disciples. So when he's speaking, any of us can respond.
No.
Disciples.
The vice president.
Hey, if you love that question, look. Allow Mark to answer.
President.
Please.
We are his vice.
Hey, allow Mark to answer. He can decline if he feels it's
Okay,
unfair. It's a loaded question.
You ask me the
You can't
question.
answer. You cannot answer.
I'm asking Mark.
You've not
No,
asked
you
me.
ask me.
It's a loaded question.
I'm a staff.
Staff of what?
I'm a staff.
Where's your
Staff of
employment
Creative
letter?
I'm a staff of Great
What's your
Yes.
employment letter?
Employment number.
Yeah, we are staff.
Employment number.
What's your employment
We are
letter?
staff. We are
No,
staff.
but allow Mark to answer. It be loaded question. No.
Hits FM.
Hits 103.9 FM. See that I'm coming the G-Pass. Mark,
Say
all of a sudden, Mark
I
can't
don't
talk.
like how when Mark.
Sadiq, allow Mark to answer the
Mark will
question.
answer.
Right.
Sadia, keep quiet. my assistant. My assistant is Jan Kroma. Yes.
Jan Kroma is who?
Jan Kroma
That's
Kufar.
the president's daughter.
The famous president's daughter.
Yes. I mean, all the artwork at the interchanges, she did them.
All this I mean, I thought she was a co-CEO or co-chairman or co-president.
Not being the talk. You be invited.
No, that's why I said from what I know she's a co-president.
Co-president.
The diabolic thing at the talk, you know that.
Oh, but where you come from? Andy, I told you a story that somebody says that his president doesn't promise at all. He's just there. Maybe I saw Ben one Shabon. Maybe Jehovah ni to one Shabon.
Maybe so you can promise.
But you see, I prefer a free SHS that starts in a perceived wrong note than in a big keke.
And then in creative arts.
Than in the big keke. Creative arts.
In creative arts, you prefer.
Yes, I prefer. I prefer a bill.
My question is not answered yet. To allow Mark to answer.
I prefer a bill getting passed to no bill.
But Mark, the person you are talking about here passed two important bills within the same 4 years.
Which and which?
So you can. The GAMRO. The bill that gave power to GAMRO and getting the power from Attorney General. This same person passed it for you. The film and the classification bill within the same 4 years passed it for you. How can you refer to this person as no bill?
Let me
When
see.
you did not pass a single one in 4 years.
The bill,
what are you
GAMRO.
very important?
Wait.
It's passed
The
two.
creative arts bill is the mother bill.
It's
It's the mother bill now. I mean, that's what we are waiting for now.
No, what you say the mother bill. The end, do you know what the film
The
classification
GAMRO bill
is?
there is there. It's GAMRO.
That
I
film
mean,
and
that's
classification,
more like
if you
our
execute
right as
them well
collect
with the
as
fund,
if you
as
say
right
the
owners.
sorted in
If you say the
your
person, are you talking about John Mahama?
yes.
Talking about John Mahama didn't pass the GAMRO bill. The GAMRO bill that time was Betty Mood who was Attorney General.
Rollins time, oh.
That
What are
time,
you talking about?
That time,
It does not run into this is 2012. I'm talking. What are you talking about?
that time,
This guy.
that time that bill
Was Mills.
That time that yes, it was Mills. It wasn't John Mahama.
Same NDC government. You were asking.
You said the person.
But
You said the person.
Okay. If you are taking that away from him, how about the film and the classification, the film development and classification?
So why the program 10 campaign?
It's
now?
the campaign.
That's why I told you that.
Sadiq make the campaign.
That's why I told you that when I come to the studio.
No, but you are jabbing, and I'm sitting
and
here.
it
You need to keep quiet.
And it does
Your party didn't pass the mother bill. The mother bill.
We are discussing NDC MPP manifesto. Now you MPP NDC manifesto.
Yesterday,
Now you are going to that side.
yesterday,
Exactly. Please. Can you hear the president?
I want everybody to shove off. Shove off now. Shove off now. I want feel shove off.
good. That's why I like you, Sadia.
Thank you.
Yesterday I heard Rex Omar. See, sometimes I hear some of my senior men and my juniors like Sadia and NDC. They struggle too hard to get attention from their party. I saw Mr. Beautiful too on TV, UTV over the weekend, also struggling very hard. Mr. Beautiful says he started the showbiz politics. And I said,
That's not factual.
and the now my ground couldn't probe, and they took it as gospel truth. Because everyone who has followed this knows that the Jewelakers and
Yeah.
some other artists
Bobo
had
Kala, all of them.
had shown
Rokuto.
interest,
Rokuto,
but
yeah.
they were not people who were part of the party campaigning. They were used as entertainers
I
to
mean, Mami
the
Dokuno.
party.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Don't
The
say.
first time that creative people said we are part of a party and we are campaigning was 2008. A Plus and I started this agenda in this country and put a get together together for creative people in Anando's house at Nima. And Mr. Beautiful was on TV saying that he started it.
No, he's not. Even
And-
this matter, Mark, yesterday we spoke
True.
about it.
Rex Omar. Sometimes it comes across to me as, oh, is that why Rex Omar didn't show interest in the technology he was talking about? Guess what? Just last week, we can go and call Spikey. We engaged Spikey to put the technology together for logging. And Spikey and his team worked on it. Spikey, I'm sorry you're going to hear this on radio because he doesn't even know that Gamro is saying that they have engaged some Americans.
No, he mentioned it. Rex mentioned it.
Just mentioned
But
it yesterday.
Spikey doesn't know.
And so-
Spikey knows he had done a job for us. So we had called Abraham that Spikey and the team are ready to make a presentation. Then Abraham said we should write a letter and bring it. So I wasn't comfortable. I said, a letter by this time.
Like a proposal.
By this time, Gamro, letter. Because the collecting society space is driven by technology. So if by this time you are saying we should write a letter, then we have a problem. So I called Chairman Rex. Then Rex said that, sorry, but they have engaged some American company and they've signed an MOU. So indirectly, Spikey, Emmanuel Rex says that we didn't do anything about it. Does
When
he
you
know
contracted him, didn't you pay him?
Spikey? No. It's pitch. That's how I start. You pitch. So even DKB,
You pitched to the organization.
Our own DKB.
our own DKB,
Right.
ask him. He will tell you where has DKB, how long we've been talking about this technology for logging,
Which he can
and
do
then the
it.
platform to sell. Yes, DKB even showed me a sample, and not, so we have other people, even the platform to sell music and film. We have gone through about 5 companies already.
That decision there will be ridiculous.
I know. We will get there.
That one there.
Yes, we the reason why we are still massaging, and Stoneboy, EL, and the rest of them will tell you that we had a Zoom meeting with Kojo Ponkroma, and I told them that this platform that we've been fighting over, that we need a platform, because they went to ambush Ponkroma on Instagram or Facebook somewhere, and Ponkroma said, "Oh, we need to hear them." And I remember telling them that, do they know of MTN Play?
Yeah, MTN Play.
And the one we just launched as well, the music time.
Music time.
Good.
Go play and all of that.
All of them. Some of them, digitally, they are more powerful. They have a technical know-how, everything than us. But when they set up this platform, we are the same people who even reject the platforms. We say, we won't put our music on, we won't do this. So I am asking again. The students say government should do it, and when we finish, you're going to put your music on iTunes
No, but
and Spotify
Mark,
and leave us.
let me ask a question, Mark. Andy. Okay, Mark, how involved in this new manifesto? How involved were the creative economy specialists?
You see, that's the challenge with Sadiq.
Okay.
About
No, 'cause
block.
that's
I like the way Sadiq
No,
is
Adrian,
representing the
no,
president.
no,
I'm asking questions.
I don't like the way Sadiq is heckling the
Okay, we'll ask
Andy.
him. We'll ask him the
I don't
question.
like the way Sadiq is heckling the president. Please.
Write your point. See, Rex Omar, go and ask Rex Omar
Sure.
how he met good music. Do you know of a group called Good Music?
I know good music very well.
Ask Rex Omar how he met
And
them.
I even mentioned it.
Oh, that's right.
I
Who's
even
my
mentioned.
guy?
Remember,
Yeah,
I even
yeah.
mentioned good music and what was the name
Kisema.
of their
Kisema.
Appeal. That's my guy.
Rex Omar, I called Rex Omar into a meeting when
They don't
Good
do
Music
that,
had
no.
come to see me that this is what they do. They wanted to do it for multimedia charts, charts and whatever. They will monitor for us, and so I said, if you can do this thing, then let's begin to talk to you on how we can log for Gamro. So we called Rex Omar into a meeting 2017, and he rejected them. That the way their thing is, the good
really?
music. I'm telling you.
But not long ago, Rex said they are in talks with good music. He said it here.
Call the good music people. Ask them
Remember-
that who introduced them to Rex Omar.
No, it's not about the introduction,
I
but
think
you
to be fair,
saying
would also have to give Rex
Sadiq.
Omar opportunity to respond to some of these.
Yes.
Sadiq.
No, but you go ahead.
Sadiq.
No, because Rex admitted getting into a partnership with good music they want to work with them. But I mean, it's not about the introduction, but
no,
the acceptance.
You're getting it wrong. He says that in 4 years we didn't do anything. We until a few months to election, then we've come that they did it on their own with no government input. But government, I just want to establish that government has taken steps that he had rejected. And we cannot buy a technology for you if you don't get your buy-in. I complained to Rexma himself that even if they want to do it, how much do they want to spend? So I can begin to talk to minister. It's Abraham will talk to you. Abraham never came. So yesterday how he spoke gave me a clue that, oh, okay, there's a subtle agenda behind this thing, that he doesn't want the MPP government to do it.
Mark, I beg.
President is not lying.
Cut. See, not to cut Andy again. Andy, not to cut. And to be fair to, Rexoma here.
Call Rexoma,
it's a good. No, you call Rexoma. It's a group. Rexoma as a chairman, if you understand corporate governance, as a chairman of the board, for instance, it's not as if you have a veto power over your board.
I don't have a problem.
It's a board, and
but
he's CEO of it.
That we didn't do anything about it.
No, because as it stands, Mark,
he haven't
done anything about it now. As it stands.
No. If you reject it and come and give an impression that nothing was done about it,
where rejecting means what? You see, rejection here. You see, and that's why I say that. That's why I say that. No, okay, has he? You see, there's something called correspondence. Where is the correspondence and evidence to suggest that he's turning it down?
There was a phone conversation.
What are you talking about? Dealing with an organization and telling you phone conversation. What are you talking about?
No.
There's something called correspondence. When you're dealing with a private organization,
email or
there's a whole board. There's an engagement. Whether email, letters, or anything, it's a correspondence. Why is the correspondence? Let Mark say here that, okay, in terms what he means by rejection is that expressly when he came from the organization's point of view, there was a correspondence, right? Whether hard or email or anything to say that we've rejected ABCD.
I said that call the good media people.
You know, because all I see here is that Gamro, we've all understand. And that's why I remember that, and the more reason I didn't want to go here is that I've had conversations before where when I spoke about this, people misconstrued it and turn it around. I'm not.
He's an NDC member.
No, because you see, Mark, how do I know about
the governance? He's an NDC member.
How do I know about governance and how do I know about enabling creative arts? I'm interested in anything creative arts.
This is a conversation between me and Rex, but you're defending as if you have information.
No, I'm not defending. I'm saying Mark should tell us more.
That's what I'm saying.
Logic. But how is logic? I'm saying tell us more. Okay, tell us more, Mark. Tell us more.
So I'm establishing contact with Rex. Now, Sadiq,
tell us more. Yeah. Andy.
What is it you know? Hold on. But where did they go?
No, you see, Andy.
Now it's between us now.
Andy, this is a thing.
No, hold on.
Why? No, but you call me saying they give you opportunity.
So speak. Use your microphone. Use your mic. The way you got
that. I give him my mic.
Ask the question.
Honestly, you see, Andy, we need to have a subjective conversation about.
No, we are calling it. Hold on, please.
Hold on. A more subjective conversation.
Hold on.
Wait.
We are going.
If Mark leaves, we will stay. If Mark leaves, hold on.
Yeah,
if Mark leaves, he has lied.
We will stay.
If Mark leaves, let's speak with Rex Omar. Rex is on. Mark, Rex is on.
We will stay here.
I will stay.
Let's speak with Rex Omar.
Uncle Rex,
good morning.
Good morning.
I feel the fire in your voice already. Mark Okuman is running away.
Mark is
just at the mention of Rex Omar's name, Mark is running away. Rex.
No, the staffs are here.
Please. Rex is listening. Rappening.
Yes.
Thank you very much for making time for us on a very short notice. So, Mark is saying that he disagrees with you with what you said yesterday, that the MPP government hasn't done anything within the 4 years of administration. He says he doesn't agree with you.
But what else will you expect from Mark? Mark is an MPP defending his government. So, of course, if he had said anything different, I would have been surprised. But the truth always remains the same. The thing is, they gave 18 promises in their manifesto, and they have not even achieved one. You see, I have tried not to be too hard because I was always waiting to see oh, it will happen, maybe, but now we are 3 months to election, and sad aspect of it is some of the things in their manifesto. You've been here all the time, people are shouting, and a login system, no, and it was in their manifesto. Were they able to do any login? No. It is only just 2-3 weeks ago that my own brother Mark called me that they have some discussion with some people, and I know it was all, we are getting to election, so they say they've met some people from UK and they've come to do demonstration to them, and then we had already signed an agreement with an American company. So I told him, so the thing is, fact is fact. So if they had really wanted to do something with us, I'm talking about Gamu, they would have done it. And then even all the stuff, I mean, the for example, the theaters, if they had built one, just one, perhaps I would have said, oh, maybe things are not very good. So if they said 9, but if they've done 1, I mean, let's take it and maybe give some more time.
Uncle Rex, the last time you came here and we spoke about login system, you mentioned good music and that you had engaged them. Yesterday when you spoke to us, and as you rightly said, you have engaged some Americans. What happened to the engagement with good music?
Engagement, when I said engagement, I did not say we have signed an agreement. We called.
I didn't mention that. I only mentioned engagement.
We have called different people from different countries, including Ghana, for people to bring their proposals. And the proposals people brought, good music could have done a portion of the whole stuff that we're looking at. But we got an American company who wanted a one-stop shop, who wanted to take a complete stuff and do it, because it's a big investment they have to do, come and do it and blah blah. They want to use Ghana as a stepping stone to get to the whole of Africa. So we thought that, okay, why not? So we just signed an agreement with them, and so they are getting ready and then to come down.
So it wasn't a rejection that you rejected good music.
No. It wasn't I mean, if you speak to good music, they will tell you. I mean, I would have loved to have good music, a Ghanaian company to do it, but the sad aspect of it is the American company is also owned by a Ghanaian. He's also desperate to come and do something in his country to help, And then they have a track record. They are working in the system in Canada and all that. So it was like, okay, if this is also a Ghanaian and they have the all-round solution, why not?
How did you get in touch with good music?
It was through a friend. Not really? Okrekumante, definitely.
Not Okrekumante?
No.
Please call good music.
I have the boy's number. I have Ken's number here.
Who has
well, according to Mark, he brought the engagement. But I have your number. He said you couldn't make it. But Mark, why you sit down and speak with Rex? Why you Rex?
Charlie, I get a good music guy number.
Yeah, but I get your number.
He's my guy. He's my guy.
Look. Listen. Good music. I met good music through Mark at Multimedia. Okay? That time, good music was doing something just like what Kisima was doing. So Gambo engaged them, and then they said their capacity is not enough. But it's later that they came and said, what? I mean, now we understand what to do and blah, 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 and all that. So we said, okay, we could take and merge them with this American company to do the work. But the American company said, no, we are bringing B-Mart, who has been doing this thing with us for all Germany and other countries. So it's like, yes, Mark introduced good music to me at Multimedia, but not as Creative Arts Council, but he introduced it as Mark Okrekumante. I want that thing to be clear.
No, this is bad.
It's Creative Arts a legitimate organization.
This is bad.
It's Creative Arts a legitimate organization. It's Creative Arts a legitimate organization.
What are you talking about? Please.
What's Creative Arts a legitimate organization?
What are you saying?
Rex is still on the line. Well, Rex, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
So, all right. Please, thank you very much.
Is it a legitimate organization?
No, you can't say that.
Yes.
You can't say that anywhere, Sadiq.
Sadiq.
Yes, Andy.
Please. I don't like it when you guys heckle me like this.
Yes, I tried to narrow
You make me-
MPP's non-performance for the creative arts to try to make it a case about an individual.
No.
MPP has not delivered. Let's
Why
make
is
it
it
a
that
point to that. It's a strong sense.
NDC deliver. How
Alright,
did they
let's
deliver?
Your lawsuit they talk about here. Mark, sit down here, tell you, say NDC deliver laws to you.
NDC has
Mark,
not
4 years,
delivered
you don't fit deliver a single law.
Let's be real.
You don't fit deliver a single law. Mark, sit down here, tell you, say NDC deliver 2 laws for you. What are you talking about?
What law?
Are you two guys talking about creative arts?
What law?
Creative arts bill?
All right, listeners, well,
It's
thank you
creative
very
arts
much
council
for
and
your
legitimate
time.
organization.
Same time tomorrow, we shall meet again. We shall meet again for yet another interesting edition of the program. Have a wonderful day, folks.
This is Hits.
Sandy Dusty, thanks to Vodafone, thanks to Tri-State Roofing, thanks to Franco Trading Enterprise, thanks to Betway. Have a